Cold open, ladies and gentlemen, it is the world's wokest warrior, primitive-sided, toxic fanboy, aligned with the like-minded, Tony, Tone Deaf, rocking with you. I want to welcome one and all to the Clown World Review. Welcome back to the Monday Night War retrospective. It feels a little weird because we didn't cover Raw and Nitro last week. We were actually watch partying. I almost said SummerSlam, Starrcade from 1996, and we actually did watch party SummerSlam from 2022 as well. So good times. It's good to be back. I'm glad to be here. Glad to jump back into the routine because in just a few weeks we're going to be checking out the 1997 Royal Rumble. We've got 2 weeks of results this week. That's week 70 and 71, December 30th, 96, and January 6th, 1997. Yeah. How long is that before democracy dies? What, 23 years, and then democracy dies in that same day. So we've got some time to talk about wrestling before my democracy dies. Yes. Welcome everyone. Glad to be here. 2 weeks this week, 1 week next week worth of results, and then the week after that, 2 weeks from today, we'll be watch partying the 1997 Royal Rumble and officially starting the road to WrestleMania 13. Sid versus The Undertaker for the WWF Championship, but more memorable, the submission match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart. From then on out, the rocket ship is tied to Steve Austin's back, and cool things happen. So I'm really happy we're going into the year 97 tonight. I've been looking forward to this. Basically, 1997 through like 2001, the beginning of 2001, are like my favorite time in wrestling. So I'm glad to be here. With that being said, let's go ahead and get Vince off your screen since he's fired and all, and introduce some panelists. First off, he's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins. Like he's Ezra Miller. No, like he's Demi Lovato. That was just mean. And she identifies again as a she, her. So Demi Lovato, shout out to those substances in your veins. He was born and raised in the USA. Like Osama bin Laden, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Etep Wokuian from Etep Wokuian's Place to Be Reviews.
I was looking for a prop to grab, but I'm a little slower on the draw right now for some reason or another.
When you're rich, they all let you grab them by the prop.
You know, that was it too. I was like, I grabbed her right by the prop. It was huge. It was like a horse's mouth eating an apple.
It's flipped outs in here. Now I feel special.
Flip, what up, baby? He was in the chat over on Drew's channel too, so I'm glad he came over. It's good to see you, Flip. No, it's great to see everybody here. Hail this panel. Hail the chat. Hail Tony. Love you, brother. This is the end of 1996, and I share much of Tony's sentiment. This was between like 95 and 01 when, you know, CW ceased to exist as a separate entity. I watched wrestling, but it was never the same. It was never the same. And growing up with the territory, well, the end of the territory days in the 80s, getting to experience all that, leading into this era, the Monday Night Wars, and like Starrcade last week was great. It was fun getting to watch that again.
Yes.
But yeah, this is I didn't get to watch these episodes. It's been a long time since I've seen them. But I have the results pulled up too, so it's Nitro especially. I just, this era of Nitro is so good because the NWO's in full swing, and you're getting that build towards Starrcade 97 with with Starrcade with Sting and Hogan.
Yes, that year-long build-up.
Yes. We won't talk about the end of that right now. We'll just enjoy the ride.
But tonight we'll be talking about the beginning of it.
Yep. That's it. So thank you for having me. Hail flipped out. Love you, bro. Great to see you in the chat. And and there's emotionally unstable amphetamine Tina Bojan. Hail, girl.
Yes.
Hail.
We've got Draven in here. We've got Draven in here talking like an illegal weary traveler, an illegal migrant. He's all, watch this. Hey, Flea.
Hey, Flea. Hey, Flea. Hey, Flea.
Bad joke. Ladies and gentlemen, next, well, there's no introduction that I can say for him, so let me go ahead and just play his entrance video. Mr. Superfan Adam Shawhan, how are you, sir? Yes.
What is up? I am here. Dogs are quiet. So we're good, man. We're good. Dogs are quiet. They're happy.
Yeah, and you say that. Meanwhile, my dogs are all at the door because it's feeding time, and I'm completely ignoring them because they ate yesterday. You know, how many times do you have to eat?
More than once a day.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, I love the get up. I'm a little confused. Like, you know, are you Hollywood or are you Wolfpack, man? These
are it's just a little bit of all NWO, man.
Hell yeah.
I've got my black and red too, but I've got the title, as you know, man. I've got to support it all, and because it was great to be a fan when this all went down, man. That's the thing. But I was always a Buff Bagwell fan, as Etep can attest. So
yes.
Hence the big top hats and the crazy shit like Savage would do too. But gotta love Big Papa Pump. You gotta love Buff Bagwell. These guys were just huge,
Yes.
And to watch the brotherhood go and the rivalry go. Steiners were awesome.
Yep. Man, nobody had a better transformation. Other than, you've got Hogan, which was great, but Scott Steiner and the Big Papa Pump definitely rivals that. He just wasn't as big of a name, but how he went from that Steiner, Michigan boy, long brown hair, he was always bigger than his brother, but into Big Papa Pump, that was always that was cool to see. I like that. So thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always a blast to be here with you, gentlemen.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, our next panelist coming to the stage for a 2-song set.
I got the magic stick. I know if I could hit once, I could hit twice.
Hey guys, what's up? So Sting is making some appearances here and there. Figured I'd drop the Sting thing here. But it should be a good show as usual. Talking about wrestling with you guys. It's always a pleasure.
Hell yeah, bro! It's good to see you. I love the Sting setup you got there, man. That looks awesome.
I just did it. I just downloaded a thing real quick and then did what I did with my normal emblem. But
yeah. No, that's badass. Hail to Chris Fisk. Hail to Glenzer. Great to see everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Sid, because I have half the leg that you do. Fantastic.
Well, the skeptics and all the people have a little bit of... Let me do this again.
Oh, it's live, House.
He's not the ruler of the world.
Yes, we can hear you, Honey Smacks. Thank you. I like that nickname, Etep. Thank you.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Hopefully it was meant for me.
They're golden and they're delicious.
Yes. So, big week of wrestling this week. Can't wait to get into it. Adam, you saw Raw last night, right?
I saw it today. I was watching. Yes, correct.
So, what did you think? Now we're going into what? A full week 2?
Yes.
Week 3 of Triple H's head of creative?
Now, going off what we have seen, because I've not watched anything before. I didn't even see Vince McMahon's last match. I caught after you mentioned that you liked the way Raw felt. This felt like a continuation of the same from last week. A very, fun-filled show with some action going on and new stuff going on, some Bobby Lashley happening. I was happy with it, man. And to see Ray in 96, 97, and then now see him in 2022 on the same night wrestling was fun for me, man.
Yeah. I mean, number one, that guy, he's still in incredible shape. He hasn't really lost much of his step. And, you know, he was always an innovator. Not only could he perform the moves, but he could always come up with the moves, think of new moves, think of new twists on old moves to put his own stamp on it. So it's good to see he had such a fulfilling career. He recently celebrated 20 years in WWE, which is nuts. I remember when it was like, geez, Rey Mysterio's coming to WWE. You never thought you'd see that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. So it feels to me like what Hunter's really doing with WWE right now is, number one, restoring some things that were banned due to Vince's just his weird quirks he had about the industry, but he's really showcasing the NXT stars that he was close with, that he grew fond of, the ones that were released. It looks like he's bringing the ones back that he can, and he's going to give them a fair shot on the main roster. The ones who weren't released, he's letting them kind of revert back to what made them successful in NXT instead of coming up to the main roster and fucking running around with a baby bonnet on or whatever weird ideas Vince McMahon would have. So yeah, the next, I'll tell you what, I can't wait till we get to WrestleMania, because by that point, most of Vince's ideas and most of what he had planned for people is going to be phased out, and we're going to get a clearer picture of the new vision of WWE.
I agree, dude, because we don't know how much of this was we've been told that the whole Bayley faction was, you know, Vince said no, but that did get big heat, and you know, but then again, we're being told by these people that can you really trust them? But we as fans will know exactly. You know, I think you're right. After WrestleMania, you know, this kind of will be the clean slate. But so far, Raw has improved.
Yeah, definitely. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take you back to a more wholesome time in WWF. We are about 3 months away from the great transition from WWF Raw, Monday Night Raw, to the 2-hour presentation of Raw's War in the 8 o'clock hour, and then Warzone in the, Raw's War in the 9 o'clock hour, and then the Warzone in the 10 o'clock hour. Right now, WWF Raw, they're coming on the 8 o'clock hour. They used to be 9 to 10. They moved it from 8 to 9 because, well, the competition. Nitro was kind of dominating that last hour, so they moved to they're trying new things right now. I can't wait, because 4 months from now, the presentation of Raw is going to look completely different compared to what we've been getting this entire time since we started this in September 95. So, yeah, and honestly, back then, that was my favorite theme song for Raw, too. So I can't wait to get into those days. Let's go ahead and jump in here to week 70, December 30th, 1996, the final WCW Nitro, the final WWF Raw of 1996. We've made it this far, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just damn excited. So, if you're not paying attention to the beautiful banner scrolling across the bottom of your screen, the December 30th, 1996 edition of Monday Night Raw pulled a 1.6, which is 0.1 higher than last week. Now, last week they had a 1.5. That was the lowest rated any wrestling show of the Monday Night War, so it only goes up from here, and it starts to go up pretty quick, if you ask me. 1.6 for this week on Raw. Nitro pulls a monster 3.6, 2 full rating points higher than WWF Raw, but this is also the night after Starrcade. A lot of people tuning in to see what happened on the pay-per-view and what comes next. So good for them. A 2-point margin between Nitro and Raw this week. Over on WWF Raw, first off, they're in Albany, New York, again at the Knickerbocker Arena. We've got WCW in Knoxville, Tennessee at the Civic Coliseum. The WCW champions are as followed: your world champion, Hollywood Hogan; U.S. champion, Eddie Guerrero; tag team champions, The Outsiders; your television champion, Lord Steven Regal; your cruiserweight champion, Ultimo Dragon; and your women's champion, who you'll probably never see again, Akira Hakuto. Over on WWF Raw, your champion is Psycho Sid, who... usually I write my own results. Tonight we're going off of a website. I had some things going on. Couldn't quite write them down, but it bugs me because this website always writes Psycho Normal when it's supposed to start with an S. Psycho Sid. Your Intercontinental Champion, Hunter Hearst. I just put myself on blast for not writing results just so I can bitch about their punctuation. Good job, Tony. Your Intercontinental Champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and the World Tag Team Champions, who've right now, it's not a very tag team time. Like, people bitch about the tag division in WWF, but damn, these belts are almost forgettable right now. Your tag champions, Owen Hart, and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. They're also your longest reigning champions right now, September 22nd, 1996. They won those titles. Your hosts for Monday Night Raw are Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler, and we start tonight off with Jesse James, the real Double J, and Savio Vega versus Steve Austin and Farouk with the Nation of Domination, of course. A very unlikely duo of Farouk and Steve Austin, but interesting nonetheless.
Double J doesn't even get his entrance off.
yeah, and that was funny because I'm watching the match and he comes out singing My Baby Tonight, and I'm like, I wish Steve Austin would kick his ass. And as I was saying that, Austin's running around the corner and starts kicking Jesse James' ass. Like, sorry, Road Dogg. Yeah, they kick his ass pretty well, and then they finally, there's a little... He starts kicking Jesse James' ass. Then Savio Vega runs out because Double J was out first from their team. Farouk and Austin were waiting in the ring. So it's a little chaos, but they finally get into the ring. And they start having their tag match, and it's okay. Nothing special. Farouk looking dominant. Austin whooping some ass. Funny to see Austin and Farouk versus Jesse James and Savio Vega, because it's like, okay, it's a little lopsided here. Austin and Farouk, whether they're strange bedfellows or not, that's a powerful team right there.
Yeah.
But sure. This match doesn't last too long because Austin ends up clipping Jesse James' knee pretty rough there, and Jesse James is stuck on the outside and is just about, he can't continue. He's done. That's how powerful and mighty Steve Austin is. That Jesse James can't continue, but Bret Hart makes his way out. He helps the Road Dogg. He helps the Roadie. He helps the real Double J, Jesse James. And when we return from commercial break, we see that Bret Hart has taken his place and is now teaming with Savio Vega to go against Steve Austin and Farouk.
Etep's favorite costume, mind you, is blue jeans and no shirt.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's great. That's great ring attire.
Blue jeans, Bret, because we didn't know this was going to happen. For all those who call wrestling fake, we didn't know this was going to happen. So he's wearing blue jeans, and he they wrestle for a bit, but he applies the sharpshooter to Farouk, but before Farouk can tap out, Crush makes his way into the ring, followed by PG-13 Jamie Dundee.
Damn, Jamie Dundee, motherfucking Wolfie D, boy, I tell you what, we come down the ring, we are domination, man.
See, Jamie Dundee, he had to pretend that Bret Hart was Jim Ross's face and just started pounding on it. So we get a DQ.
Take that, happy face.
Yes.
Was it that or the fact that he's pretending it's the guy that stole his Asian wife away from him and she took his passport?
All right.
So, look, all 5 men, Steve Austin and the Nation of Domination, they're beating down Bret Hart. Savio tries to cover Bret and save him from it and starts getting beat down too. It feels like all hope is lost. When
Until
Bobby
Saint
Lashley, I meant Ahmed
Floyd
Johnson
shows up. I mean,
Yeah.
Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah. When George Lashley shows up, Bobby Floyd.
I'm her baby.
When Ahmed Johnson shows up and he's gets his hacksaw Jim Duggan on, he runs out with the 2x4, chases everyone off, and then he does his "You're going down" chant that he definitely didn't get from Vince McMahon.
Right.
You're going down. You're going down. But not on you, Ahmed.
Which sounds very awkward.
Yeah.
We paid the hooker last night. Yeah, bitch, you're going down.
Yes, yeah. So
And
over
then he
on
found out it was Pat Patterson. Giggity.
over on Nitro, your hosts are Tony Schiavone and the slack-jawed bundle of sticks, Larry Zbyszko. Yes, and the thing is with Nitro, started 7 minutes early tonight to get that edge on WWF, just to be a little sneaky. The show kicks off with the NWO making their way out of, and we're at that point, we went from 1 limo to 2 limos. The NWO pulls up in 3 limos, make their way, start making their way into the arena. Hollywood Hogan is gloating, and it makes it seem like if you didn't see Starrcade, it really felt like Hollywood Hogan won this match. And the NWO's together, and everyone's happy, but the Giant kind of shits on their parade a little bit. He wants his title shot. And Giant even points out that, because the NWO isn't a part of WCW, it still actually has his name on the nameplate from when Hogan took it from the Giant at Road Wild, at Hog Wild. What, September last year? Yeah. Over in Sturgis. So there's a little friction for the first time in the NWO, but Hogan reminds Giant that last night he dropped the ball, which caused Hogan to actually lose. He passed out in this sleeper hold of Roddy Piper, and they started getting into it at Starrcade. Hogan just screaming at Giant, "You dropped the ball." So he reminds him, you dropped the ball, but look, we're all blood. We're all family. As long as one of us have the belt, it's all good, But Giant's like, look, I went through 60 men at World War III. But Hogan says when somebody in the NWO wins World War III with the help of your brothers, of course, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, that means it's one less title defense Hollywood has to make. And they have more time to party. Giant's not very happy, but we go ahead and go into the Monday Nitro intro, which might I say too, both shows have been cold opening for the past few weeks now, for the past month or so. But tonight we get both. We get the Raw intro and the Nitro intro. Weird how they line up like that. But yeah, Giant isn't happy, and even before we go into the Nitro intro, Ted DiBiase actually tells the cameraman to get the hell out of there because they don't want people to see that there's friction in the NWO. Like there's friction in the Guinea Pig Collective right now. So Nitro starts with the AFC, the Amazing French Canadians, with Colonel Robert Parker versus Public Enemy, Quebec Crash on Rocco Rock. Means the AFC wins. I think the Amazing French Canadians just beat Public Enemy every week now. And it's always Rocco Rock. I think.
And poor Jacques Rougeau is getting bolder up top every week. So
Yeah.
And
So
Colonel Rob Parker looks hilarious in that fucking uniform. Oh
Yeah,
my
he
god,
does.
it's ridiculous.
Yep.
yes.
Is it to you guys as funny today as it was then? Because for me, it's just as hilarious today as it was.
Oh
then.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
because it's
A lot of it is.
utterly ridiculous.
So,
Hello,
Oh,
gentlemen.
What up,
on-
Vinny?
How are you doing?
Okay.
oh, what's up, Vinny? How are you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
What have we got going on in the chat here? Hail Keely Chow. Hail Clone Geek.
What up, people?
Keely, Go Geek, everybody in the chat. What up?
I'm just saying I would have, done Stephanie McMahon a favor for a few million. I feel like I lost out here.
Yeah, at one point I would have as well.
Right?
I'd throw a bone. Not
Should
now.
I do Linda McMahon a favor for a
Bone.
couple million? Shit.
Even Pat Patterson?
I thought that's what he meant.
Like, if it's
Pat
Linda
Patterson.
McMahon, it's just come here, baby. Slide that colostomy bag to the side, and
God damn.
yes.
Just her daughter. At one time, she was hot.
David Bowie. I'm never gonna
So-
forget that, Tony.
Over on Raw, we have the heir apparent, apparently. Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Flash Funk.
Oh, God. Horrible.
Yeah, basically, this ends with the referee distracted, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley smacks Flash Funk with the Intercontinental title and pins him at about 9 minutes, 13 seconds. But after the match, Goldust starts to run towards Jerry Lawler. He runs after Lawler and chases him back to the locker room. They're going to be wrestling later tonight. Hunter tries to jump Goldust from behind, but Flash Funk saves the day and beats Helmsley back to the ring for a 450 splash. Yeah. It's
Cool. I mean, Flash Flunk.
Dude,
yeah.
dude,
Gold-
just real quick, Tony. I'm sorry. Like, this is just another. God, Flash Funk, like Too Cold Scorpio, such a good worker, and hey, have this stupid gimmick
Yeah.
instead of just hey, let's let this guy go out and get over on his own.
It's kind of a precursor to The Godfather, but that's the thing. Like, Kama Mustafa kind of needed that gimmick, But
Yep.
Too Cold Scorpio, like, he wasn't very charismatic, but if you set him up, if you presented him correctly, because his strength was in the ring, that's where he'd be more exciting,
And
And
Glinzer's right. Look, Terry, Dory, and Flash Funk.
yes,
He's the Lost Funk brother.
yes, like the Dudley Boys. So, yeah, Triple H and Goldust, they're going to be wrestling. Triple H is going to defend his Intercontinental title against Goldust at the pay-per-view. So there's some friction there, but they've got like Goldust and Jerry Lawler in this mini feud until then, which is just kind of weird. Whenever they involve Jerry Lawler in storylines on Raw, it never works for me, especially the heart attack one. Yeah.
Oh, how many heart attacks has he had?
All of them.
Yeah. Just not the big one yet, because he's still with us.
Yeah. So, no, they are saying back then he's lucky. If he was anywhere else but in a WWE arena with the fucking doctor right there, he would have been dead. And 6 months later, he was wrestling in Puerto Rico. I'm like, are you fucking crazy?
Wow. Yeah, these
Like,
people are insane.
Yeah.
Like that movie, The Wrestler, though, man. That's like legit. These guys are old school. These kids today couldn't lace up those old school boots. Piper, Flair, the guys, everybody that we've talked about and love, and numerous streams have talked about, the OGs.
Yep. So, next up on Nitro, we have the WCW Cruiserweight Champion Ultimo Dragon with Sonny Ono versus Jushin Thunder Liger. This was okay. Not as good as you'd think it'd be. Kind of like Ultimo Dragon and Dean Malenko, the night before at Starrcade, I'm starting to think the Ultimo Dragon wasn't as good as I remembered. Or maybe I'm just used to like the more evolved in-ring action of today. I don't know, but it was okay. It wasn't a bad match. It was just like I'm sitting there like, ooh, we're in for a treat. And it was just kind of, there.
Yeah. But compared to the Malenko and Ray match, this was shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, Ultimo Dragon wins with the Tiger Suplex in a shade under 5 minutes. Now he's on his way back to Japan with the Cruiserweight Championship and his 9 other titles. I think he gets up to like 13 or 14 light heavyweight titles altogether. So good for him. Over on Raw, Jim Ross conducts, this is a pretty fun interview. Jim Ross is going to interview Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart in the ring together.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, and Shawn, he's super sarcastic and kind of douchey to begin things.
Yeah. Calls himself, says your favorite degenerate's going to be in the ring with Bret the Hitman Hart. It's like, wait a minute, what?
Yep. Yeah. So Jim Ross announces that Bret's going to face Vader next week, and Shawn says he'll be at the announce table during the match, and he gives his word that he won't interfere. Ross kind of lets Shawn Michaels speak first, and Shawn gets on his knees worshiping Bret and says he wouldn't dare speak before the almighty Bret Hart has done so. So Bret lays it out on Shawn, saying that he doesn't like his disrespectful attitude. He said it like a Canadian. Bret feels that Shawn hasn't learned anything from Jose Lothario. When Lothario caused HBK to lose the WWF Championship at Survivor Series, there was a public apology on national TV from Jose. When Shawn Michaels caused Bret Hart to lose the title in your house, or at least cost him, winning the championship, there was nothing even close to an apology. Bret brings up being screwed out of the WWF title back at WrestleMania 12, and he feels like Shawn never came close to being a respectful, classy champion that Bret was. Bret brings up the Playgirl magazine appearance and how Shawn used to be a role model for young kids, but not anymore. Bret doesn't even think women buy that rag. He feels Shawn has degraded the WWF Championship. And yeah, he continues to insult Shawn Michaels. Yeah, and there'll be a time when they meet in the ring and all the dancing in the world won't save Shawn. Bret's going to kick his ass. You know why? Because he can. Yeah, and even Vince McMahon chimes in on commentary, says Bret isn't being very classy right now, but Shawn finally gets to speak. He says he hopes Bret finally got the bug out of his butt now. Shawn calls Bret a hypocrite for thinking he's a role model, but does nothing to back up the claim, which is funny because I was thinking about this promo when you were talking about that Bret Hart story last night, Vinny.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
And Shawn will go on throughout the show to claim, there's things I could say about Bret Hart. He acts like a role model on TV, but you ain't seen how he acts off of the TV behind the camera. And
Sunny days.
He's like, yeah, that's what I was thinking of too, Sunny days. He's like, at least I admit to who I am on or off the camera. I'm the same guy. So, yeah, then what else could you possibly want when Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart are confronting each other in the ring but Psycho Sid? So Sid interrupts.
Pretty good promo though, work done by Sid this time. I got to give it to him. I've already played the game with you and you.
Yeah,
I kind of like this one with Sid.
Yep, he points out he's beaten both of them, and now he wants some real competition. Now, this is the part I liked. He says he wants real competition, then the Undertaker's bell tolls.
Yeah.
Fucking always a good thing. Always a good thing. And a little tease at what's going to be the WrestleMania main event this year, even though at this time, Vincent didn't even think that. What was supposed to be the WrestleMania 13 main event was Bret Hart beating Shawn Michaels for the title, but as we all know, that won't happen ever. So here comes Taker, but before he can reach the ring, Vader attacks him from behind. Taker takes the sucker punches and fucking actually knocks Vader down, and then gets nose to nose with Sid in the aisle. Now I think Vince was planning on having Taker versus Sid at WrestleMania, and they were teasing that there. I just don't think Vince thought it was going to be the main event for the WWF Championship.
Right.
So
especially
Vader,
back here.
Yeah. So Vader gets back up, hits Taker in the back, and then Taker and Vader end up fighting to the locker room to tease Brett versus Vader next week, I guess.
That's how I took it.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Shawn Michaels like fucking injures Bret Hart in the ring and pushes him down, and then leaps over the ropes to Sid and starts brawling with him because Shawn will fight Sid for the WWF Championship at the Royal Rumble. So pretty good promo segment. Could have been a little better. Like when you heard Taker, you thought something good was going to happen, and fucking Vader ruined it. But yeah, not bad. We haven't seen much of Taker since Survivor Series, since he changed his gimmick and he's in the all black now, and we haven't seen much of him. So, hopefully after the Royal Rumble, we'll get a little more of him.
I kind of think it was smart. They did the rebranding. They're going to kind of save more for pay-per-view. You just get little bits and pieces, making you want more. I think that's why we wanted it so much.
I'm kind of glad he's finally out of the feud with Mankind and the Executioner, and I don't even know if we're ever going to see the Executioner again. I think he's done for.
Yeah, well, because eventually we'll go back to Mankind, but yeah, for a minute we got a break.
Yeah.
So,
over on Nitro, MK Wall Street, who's now NWO, takes the place of Big Bubba. Conan, who's Dungeon of Doom, was supposed to wrestle Big Bubba in this strap match, but Big Bubba doesn't show, so Wall Street takes his place. Now, Big Bubba, he's in the NWO now as well. So even though he doesn't come out to the NWO music, he's like the first person I've seen that doesn't, but whatever.
Besides Wall Street.
Yeah. So,
who looks horrible, by the way, in this outfit.
Yeah, so Conan, he taps all the corners, and then Wall Street ends up stopping him before the fourth corner, but punches him, and Conan falls into the fourth corner, giving him the win in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. Not really a normal strap match, because those usually took a lot longer.
Yeah. And look, the guy right here, the guy writing these results, he even points out, and this is a good point, the NWO has been dominant to this point, but because they're getting so big now, this is actually the second loss for NWO in a row, because the last NWO match we did see as of this point was Hogan and Piper. So,
right.
Yeah. So speaking of the New World Order, Hollywood Hogan and Bischoff make their way out to the ring, and they act as though Hollywood defeated Roddy Piper. They go in. If you didn't see the pay-per-view last night, again, they kind of teased that at the beginning of Nitro, and now here, you would have thought, if you didn't see the pay-per-view, you would have thought Hollywood won the match. He talks about how dominant he was and how scared Piper was and how Piper's a gimp, and then he did his flexing for the crowd, and yeah, your normal Hogan shtick you get right now.
Yeah.
So
heel Hogan
stuff.
Yes.
It was boring because it's the same shit.
Yeah,
it's turned to 100%. It's the exact same Hulk Hogan, just as a heel.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, it was the other parts of the NWO that made it more exciting. And I was going to mention, I can't wait for Randy Savage to make his return, join NWO, and start feuding with DDP.
I like Conan when he was NWO more than Dungeon of Doom, even.
Oh, yeah. So,
my boy Sting, he needs to come back.
Yeah. So, over on Raw, we get our main event of the evening. Goldust with Marlena versus Jerry Lawler. Vince always, whenever Jerry Lawler is involved, Vince always puts him in the main event. Like, why?
I don't know.
It's a classic Lawler match, though. I did enjoy the hell out of this match. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I did. I know it's old school, but it's old school Lawler at his best.
Yeah.
And worse.
But he doesn't do anything. What's his name? He gets counted out anyway.
Yeah, he gets, because Triple H comes out and he's been teasing that he's going to show Marlena what a real man is. So during the match, when Goldust is getting choked and punched by Jerry Lawler, Triple H comes out, tries to take Marlena, but then Mark Marrow confronts Triple H. So Triple H tosses Marlena to Marrow and sidesteps Goldust, and Goldust collides into Marlena and Marrow. The ref calls for the bell. Triple H beats up Goldust and Marrow on the aisle, and Marlena appears to be knocked out, and that's how Raw ends. That's how we end 1996.
Took her out, man. I love the fact he took out his ex-wife, because we all knew they were married at the time, but now it's even funnier.
Yes, yes.
I know. I'm going to hell. It's all right, but I find it hilarious.
Yes. So over on.
Especially what's coming up with the Horsemen, dude, with Deborah and the Horsemen and Jarrett. And yeah, dude, all that shit is so funny because we all know the end story. We've made fun of this, but to rewatch it happening, live week to week. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, Adam, don't worry. I don't think you're going to hell. For something like that, have you heard of Hunter Biden? You heard of the Clintons?
Yep.
And hail to indie wrestling aces. Great to see you. Manliness and motivation. Always good to see you, brother. Lizzo calls herself a role model. What a hippo clit.
She rolls all right. Like that big boulder in Indiana Jones.
Cruiserweight. I didn't know Kevin Spacey was a pro wrestler.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so he refers to Rey Mysterio Jr. as the Dream. So, over on Nitro, we've got Hugh Morris versus Kensuke Sasaki with Sonny Ono. Morris hits a no laughing matter, but Sonny Ono breaks it up with a Japanese flagpole for the DQ, giving the win to Hugh Morris. Hugh Morris gets mad, chases Sonny Ono away as he tears Sonny Ono's jacket off. We get stills of the pay-per-view last night showing Piper defeating Hogan. Then we go into Harlem Heat with Sister Sherry versus the Faces of Fear with Jimmy Hart. Yeah, so
Sherry looks damn good during this match.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, yeah.
During this match, the amazing French Canadians come out and throw a black powder into Booker T's face, and I think they really fucked him up. He was like, he couldn't see shit. He was acting like it really hurt. But they threw the black powder into Booker T's eyes. He turns around and do a kick of fear. Ming pins Booker T, but Stevie Ray jumps from the top rope and kind of I don't know if it's like a leg drop or like a knee, but either way, Stevie Ray's big ass landed on Ming's head. So Ming was basically on top of Booker T, knocked out, and Booker T rolled him over, or Stevie Ray rolls him over, puts Booker T on top of Ming for the win.
I was hoping Etep missed. He went for something, but didn't quite hit what he was originally going for.
It was Stevie Ray. The fact that it looked half legible, the fact that he didn't just fall backwards off the top rope, that's good enough for me. So, Gene Okerlund interviews DDP, and asks what he's gonna do about the NWO, because through the past few weeks they've been coming out without the consent of Diamond Dallas Page and helping him win his matches, but he's been rejecting their offers to join the NWO. So it's Starrcade. Scott Hall came in and gave the Outsider's edge to DDP and cost him the U.S. title. Paige tells Gene not to worry about it. So yeah, don't worry about it, Gene. And he kind of like paces back and forth, and Gene cuts the interview. It's all over. Then we go into Glacier versus Disco Inferno, and the first person to knock Glacier on his ass, it was the Disco Inferno. Like the first person to give him real competition, and I'm not complaining about that.
Yeah.
Kind of funny, but yeah, Disco ends up doing the job. He gets the cryonic kick. Glacier defeats him in 4 minutes. Pretty fun match, for Disco. Got a little mic time in this. He got to show his personality a little more, and
Fred,
Glacier
buddy,
was
go
Glacier.
back to the locker room. These people want to watch me dance.
Yeah. Yep. So next we get oh man, this will end up going on. These two will go on to have some classics, even though Jim Ross couldn't get their names straight while it happened. Chris Benoit with Woman versus Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Benoit wins this one with the back superplex at 4 minutes. Fun match. They don't quite know each other yet, the two Chris's, but it's the first of many matches between these two to come.
We know it's going to be Guerrero levels later down the road.
Yeah,
Chris and Guerrero were great, and to watch these guys, you could see, they're filling each other out and everything. We have some great matches to come off of this rivalry.
Yeah, I just remember their WWF time, and Jim Ross, almost every time he would call Chris Benoit Jericho, and he would call Chris Jericho Benoit, and you could just almost hear Vince McMahon screaming at Jim Ross through the headset.
You're fired.
Yeah, and you'd hear Jim Ross.
Damn it, happy face.
Jim Ross would pause for a second before saying their name, and he'd get it wrong anyway. Like, he was really struggling when these two feuded.
Damn it!
Can I just call one
wall?
Can I just call one killer? Oh, it hasn't happened yet.
Correct.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. So, everyone from the Horsemen, sans Arn Anderson, show up. And yeah, we finally get Woman and Deborah together since Deborah's been talking all this shit.
Bad shit.
Yeah. So, they come out to the ring for the interview with Gene Okerlund. Woman and Deborah get into an argument, which causes Benoit and Mongo to start pointing fingers. And then Jeff Jarrett comes out and tries to remind Ric Flair that he's around.
He's a horseman.
We already know the culmination of this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, and it's going to start next week. Yeah, it's going to start next week. It's starting sooner than you guys think. So,
Arn Anderson dropped me on my head, gave him the win. What the hell? You can be anything but a horseman. I love that quick shoot back and forth. I wanted to say something because we all know Mongo doesn't look like this anymore. Thank God he's still alive. But it's just funny to see what was with Mongo and Deborah, and then what we see happening right now with Jarrett in the picture, especially next week, Tony, as you're saying. And we know the actual history of who ends up with this woman. Yeah. So again,
it's just bad when even your wife thinks you're a douche. Fucking Mongo.
But it's funny. He was right.
Yeah.
All the ribbing and shit, and she was going after those two with Benoit and Woman. She was right.
Yep.
I guess so. She was saying Benoit deserved better than Woman. She was calling Woman ugly and saying Benoit. But, maybe if he had better, he wouldn't have did what he did.
Well, hey. Well, look at it like this. Deborah, she might have been right, but she also could, take a left too, which Stone Cold proved.
Yeah.
Yes. No more beauty.
Either that or yeah. What? Gonna hit Deborah. What? Gonna hit her again. What? Gonna drink a beer. What? Oh shit, here's the cops.
What? So
domestic violence isn't funny, kids.
Yeah. Woman asks Flair.
Only for comedic purposes.
Right. It depends on the
comedic
situation.
purposes.
Yeah.
Right.
Situationally.
Rape is no
If it's-
laughing matter unless you're raping a clown. Woman asks Flair where Arn Anderson is, but it's New Year's Eve. Duh. Arn Anderson's out partying, so Benoit reminds Jarrett that he can be anything but a horseman. Deborah tries to stir the pot a little more with Woman, but Flair just decides to grab Woman and start dancing with her, and then Benoit and Woman go to the back, so Flair grabs Deborah and starts dancing with her, and just being Ric Flair, so good times.
He was definitely drunk and on coke. That's okay, Flair. We love you. We approve. We approve. I mean, when he grabbed Woman, did you see how she was staggering in those heels with
yeah,
him?
but she was smiling. She was having a good fucking time. Benoit almost lost her.
Flair.
Yep.
Yeah. So next up, we have the midget match.
Oh, I love those.
Octagoncito, Mascarita Sagrada, Perito Estrada, and Piratita Morgan. Which one of these guys almost didn't count as a midget. He was like 4 inches shorter than Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
but we had a cool. Yeah,
even Walt was envious. Our wee man Walt, because I know he'll pop in at some point. I'm sure. We love you, Walton.
Yeah, I love what Horny Alf did with the midget.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Oh, that was funny.
This was a fun match. Just so it is what it is, 4 midgets wrestling.
But it makes everything better. Etep and I've talked about this. You want to make WWE better and the world better, we need more midget wrestling.
What's sad is the second hour, it's like the wrestlers get taller as the night goes on, because after the midget match, you get Dean Malenko versus Rey Mysterio Jr., and it's not that much of a difference. I'm not going to lie.
All right, look at these short cunts, huh?
Yeah.
He's out of line, but he's right.
and the worst part is, wasn't it Dean Malenko and Steven Regal? They wrestled a couple weeks ago for the TV title and went to the 10-minute time limit draw. Except technically it was 30 seconds early. Well, same thing with Rey Mysterio and Malenko, except for it was 40 seconds early. They went to the time limit draw. So, yeah. Yep.
Because, you always forget to add in their entrance as time coming off the match, I guess.
Speaking of comparisons, like comparing Malenko and Mysterio to the midgets, next up, these two never need to be in the ring together. And it ain't Luger's fault. We had Lex Luger versus Greg Valentine. Which Greg Valentine looks like Lex Luger if he was allergic to shellfish.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, now I was always a Hammer fan, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
But he looks just like fucking Lex Luger, but bloated.
Yeah. Well, like he always said though, I don't have to go to the gym, and he didn't. He was a good sized guy. But yeah, exactly. It's like you have. It was that meme of the Hulk, and it shows McDonald's, and he turns into Shrek. That's exactly what this was. Lex Luger meets McDonald's equals Shrek, rather the Hammer.
My other favorite quote was when he goes, all women should not be in wrestling. Fire them all.
Hold on.
He also thinks he's better than Ric Flair.
Okay, they have the match here on YouTube, so I don't want to get a strike, but I am going to see if I can find a good shot of them standing next to each other, and I'll pause it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was an old-fashioned style match, and Luger, a.k.a. Stupid Face, at least at this point in time, wasn't beating Miss Elizabeth, and, his legs still worked. Too soon?
All right.
Not a Luger fan, so it's always the right time.
I liked Luger. I liked him back more with the Lex Express, and then definitely with the Monday Nitro, how that went off, and then when he ends up in the New World Order. But I mean, I liked Luger back in the old
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you. When he came back to WCW and he was more humble about shit. And, he was better then. But with the drug shit. Yeah, I was out.
Dude, Lex Luger was Brock Lesnar before Brock Lesnar was Brock Lesnar. Just not be nice to fans, just come do a job. Because that was Lesnar's whole. I'm just coming here to do a job. Why can't I?
Yeah, he didn't give a shit.
So it's a little, the resolution ain't the best, but God, it's just you've got thick. There we go.
Yep.
Like it looks like his fat older brother. It looks like Luger's fat older brother.
I told you I wanted the rest of Count Chocula, Greg, you dick.
He doesn't look bad, and if Greg Valentine was wrestling anyone else but Lex Luger, it wouldn't look bad, but it's like, okay, this is what you could have done.
Yeah, I was a Frankenberry or a Booberry guy. Fuck Chocula.
Bro, dude, I got edibles made out of blueberry. That shit was amazing. All right, I'll shut up.
I want some of those. Those sound delicious. I liked all three, gentlemen. I enjoyed all of them, especially when they came out with the mummy one.
Oh yes, that was really limited. What was the
Greg
mummy one?
Valentine? He shouldn't. Manliness and motivation. Greg Valentine should never be in the ring with Lex Luger or Melissa Etheridge.
That's great.
But on the plus side, my bad. I'm just saying on the plus side, Luger looks better. It's like, hanging out with.
But do you really expect Lex Luger to lose? Like I said, I'm a Hammer fan. I like Greg the Hammer Valentine. I'm old school. But even I knew he wasn't going to win this match. Like, there's no way in hell that the Hammer's going over.
They had such a deep roster. They could have put, anyone in there with Luger besides Greg Valentine. Put Valentine in there with Hugh Morris and put whoever Hugh Morris wrestled in, the Japanese guy with fucking Luger.
Right. I'd rather see Disco and Valentine go at it, to be honest with you, than Glacier. I would much rather we'll flip it around the other way and give Glacier to, we'll switch it up to Hugh Morris. Let those two go for it and give Glenn to, it'd been better, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a huge Hammer fan.
Hail Frog G, great to see you. I like Greg. I liked Greg Valentine, but this is he's past his sell-by date.
I know, man. I get it, but my heart, it's like Flair. Mm-hmm. I love Flair. I don't care. Like, he could come out next year and take on Bret Hart, and I would buy tickets. Yeah. I'd be like, dude, do it for my 50th.
All right, who's gonna have a heart attack fast, bud?
We watched him wrestle at 77. So yeah.
No, no more. Please, no, don't do that.
85.
They're watching
the final Flair match. Buried alive.
They're gonna print money.
Dude, at 85, him and Hogan for the real buried alive match. Who outlives who?
He can't even say woo anymore.
I know.
That was embarrassing.
Sounds like a ghost. All right, sorry, Tony.
Needless to say, Luger won this match with the torture rack in shade under 3 minutes, and now it's main event interview time over on Nitro. We hear Roddy Piper's in the building as we go to commercial break, and he receives a lot of love from Knoxville as he makes his way out to the ring. Piper says that Hogan was napping in the middle of the ring last night. The person who wrote these results fucked up. Sorry. He tells us that that match with Hogan was his last fight. He's getting too old for this shit. Then he gets interrupted by Hogan and Bischoff. Hollywood looks pissed that Piper stepped on his lie. Piper makes a few Hogan jokes, but then things get serious. Hogan mentions Piper's kids, and he promised Piper's son that he would take it easy on their daddy. Piper starts to undress and get ready. He's like, okay, looks like I'm having one more fight. But of course, the NWO attack, and they fucking beat Piper down. Like, before they were just holding him back leading up to Starrcade, but they beat him down this time. They even expose it. They pull up his kilt, and fucking Hogan smacks his repaired thigh with a steel chair. Not a wood
Tony,
chair, a steel chair.
You got your wish. You messaged me. I hope we get to see that thigh again. And sure enough, there it was. Getting beat by a chair, baby.
So, man, this is like when Hogan first turned. There's so much fucking trash in the ring. Fans are pissed off. But yeah, so Giant makes his way out to the ring. A little slow. He's still looking pissed off from the beginning of the show. Because, Vinny, I don't know if you were here for this, but... You know, with Starrcade, Hogan kept telling Giant he dropped the ball.
Yeah, he kept yelling at him about it.
Yeah, so tonight started off, they all showed up in limos, and they're all partying and happy, and you would have thought Hogan won the match from how tonight started, but Giant looked a little pissed, and they asked him what's wrong, and he's like, look, I fought through 60-minute World War III to get a shot at that title.
Yep.
I want my title shot, you know? Except he said it with an American accent.
Right. And he wasn't banging Sonny like the AV boy was.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, Hogan basically told him, look, if someone in the NWO wins World War III, that just means we have more time to party because now I don't have to defend the title. And Giant wasn't happy with that answer. So now fast forward to the end of the show, Hogan orders Giant to choke slam Piper. So fucking Giant puts his fingers around fucking Piper's throat, but then he decides not to do it. And he fucking puts Piper down. Piper's still laid out. Fucking Hogan's pissed. Like, you know, I told you to choke slam him. And he fucking slaps the Giant. While this is going on, the EMTs are putting Piper on a stretcher. Piper's fucking going nuts. Just screaming some inaudible shit, but he's mad, you know.
Yeah, it didn't make no sense, dude. Like just yelling shit.
But he looked like a total badass doing it.
Did.
Like at least they beat him down. At least he looked like a badass, you know.
My body, you might have broke my body, but you didn't break my mind. I will be back and kill all of you. Even though that's not what he said at all.
Yeah.
That's how I
might have been what he said. So yeah, Hogan slaps the Giant. Fucking Giant grabs Hogan by the throat, and Hogan still kind of has the mic in his hand. So you hear Hogan like, I'm sorry. And fucking Giant's just choking him like, I want me title shot.
After throwing everybody out of the ring, too. Remember, get out of the ring.
Yeah, he's got him by the throat, fucking yells at the NWO, get out of the ring. Fucking just choking the shit out of Hogan. So, look cool visuals. So,
felt real.
Hogan
he was selling that shit good.
Yeah. Hogan agrees to it, rolls out of the ring, and he's trying to catch his breath, and then, of course, Hogan looks up and get him. So, yeah.
And you notice who get him got, too, right from the get-go, too.
Yeah, he tells the NWO to attack the Giant, and the numbers game takes over, and they rip the NWO shirt off him. They hit him in the face with the title. He's completely unconscious. We see Piper in the ambulance driving away, and it fades to black. And that's how we end 1996 in WCW.
Decent ending to that year, I felt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Seeing Vincent take a choke slam and Big Bubba take a choke slam, I think that was this. It's just always watching, you know, who gets. It's always the lower tier NWO guys that get choke slammed. It's always funny.
Hey Tommy, how are you doing, brother? Good to see you. Watch some toes. The guinea pigs are in the house. Yes,
they were going crazy earlier.
Yeah. That would be Tony's guinea pigs.
Yeah. We got a new one, so there's an adjustment process and a little bit of noise right now.
Dude, it's beautiful because so did Tommy. So it's like you guys both got newer pigs at the same time. And I was watching some of Tommy's shorts. So, yeah, you're not wrong, man, at all. It definitely takes a little bit of an adjustment. Those pigitudes that they have.
Yes. So now let's kick off 1997, ladies and gentlemen. Monday Night Raw is coming to you again from Albany, New York, in the Knickerbocker Arena. Monday Nitro is coming to you from Monroe, Louisiana, in the Civic Center. Now, here's where the ratings change a little bit. Last week, we had a 1.6 on Raw, but this week, they bring it up to a 2.1. Meanwhile, Nitro had a 3.6, and they dropped down to a solid 3. So, Nitro lost 0.6, but Raw gained 0.5. And that doesn't necessarily mean everyone went over to Raw, because they both kind of have their own audiences too. But that 2-point margin definitely it drops to a 0.9 margin this week, which is pretty nice. Good for Raw. We're beginning 1997. Still your champions, the same over on Raw. Psycho Sid's the world champion. Intercontinental is Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Tag team champions are Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith. And yeah, tonight Bret Hart's going to find out what time it is. Because he's wrestling Vader. But we're going to start off with Owen Hart with Clarence Mason versus Mankind with Paul Bearer. Pretty good match, which ended in a really nice way. Mankind pile drove the shit out of Owen Hart.
Properly,
Yeah,
and
see,
did not break his neck. Yes,
Owen,
Tony, I know.
yeah. Owen Hart charges Mankind. Mankind fucking is able to get out of the way, and Owen Hart fucking bangs into the ring post, and then Mankind properly follows up with a really good-looking pull-up pile driver and the 3 count. Not a bad TV match.
And he dropped on his ass, right? That was the match.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did.
No. That's what I'm saying. I think that's where he probably got it from, Owen. To be honest, he's like, oh yeah, I look good with Mankind.
But see, if only Mankind would have broke his freaking neck here, he wouldn't have broke Austin's neck, and things might have been differently in the wrestling business. One will never know.
Yes.
Like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
Right.
Man, I still don't know. That damn owl always
1,
three.
a 2, a 3.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's because Mankind, he has extra padding all over those thighs and that ass. The fat he has. So he was able to really hold Owen's head between his legs. And,
Yes.
it wasn't straight down.
Yeah, Owen has one of those floppy Canadian heads, so you got to really be careful with him.
Yeah.
Yep. So in the back, Shawn Michaels, Jose Lothario, and watch it all come full circle now. Jose's son, Etep Lothario, are vowing revenge on Psycho Sid in the Alamo Dome. And we get a cool little recap from the first ever Shotgun Saturday Night. Crush hit Ahmed Johnson with a chair, but Ahmed Johnson ends up hitting the Pearl River plunge on a car. Fucking fucks Crush up. And see, back in these days, Shotgun Saturday Night, it was being held in like different nightclubs around New York. Yeah. It wasn't just a Saturday night pre-taped show, before Raw. So pretty cool. Over on Nitro, nothing's changed. Same champions. Yes, and we start off right away with a Glacier versus Bobby Eaton match. Yeah, exactly what you'd think. Fucking Glacier hits the cryonic kick on Eaton in 1 minute 56 seconds. Nothing really notable about this match. It's just another week closer to Mortis, so there's that.
Yeah.
Next up on Nitro, we get Conan with Jimmy Hart in the match he was supposed to have last week, a Mexican strap match against Big Bubba, which ends exactly the fucking same. It's twice as long in the match, but same fucking thing. Conan fucking hits the 3 corners, and then Bubba's stopping him from hitting the 4th and punches Conan into the 4th corner. Like, we just saw that.
A week ago, we saw the exact same ending in half the time.
Yeah, so Bubba's pissed off and delivers a Bubba slam to Conan. In the back, Gene Okerlund asks Kevin Sullivan why he and Benoit don't settle their problems and go after the real enemy, HGH, or no, the New World Order. No answer.
HGH.
Yeah. Okerlund mentions another video that doesn't involve Benoit and woman, and Sullivan gets mad and refuses to go into the matter. Not quite sure what video they're talking about, but Sullivan walked off.
Oh, you know it's a porno. It's got to be.
Hopefully. So, in one of their last appearances, ladies and gentlemen, because they will be gone by the 97 Royal Rumble, we get Razor Ramon and Diesel, the fake edition, versus Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon.
Etep's favorite tag team.
Yes. I'm glad.
Hey, they're good.
Yeah, Furnace and LaFon are pretty good. And they actually defeat Razor and Diesel here. That's how you can tell the imposter Razor and Diesel are in trouble. They're not being booked very strong anymore. Furnace and LaFon hit the Doomsday device, followed by a roll-up for the 1-2-3 in a little over 9 minutes. Not the worst match ever, but just the crowd isn't buying into the fake Razor, the fake Diesel. They've definitely, they tried to play it off as ironic at first. Like, of course, it's not Nash and Scott Hall, but Jim Ross had some agenda that's been completely forgot about. Now they're just on TV for some reason. So
they're just kind of there, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, anybody on this panel, tell me, when you watch WWF with the original Diesel and the original Razor, did the thought ever cross your mind of them being a tag team? Because it sure as shit never crossed my mind in real time.
Exactly. And it sucks, too, because Furnace and LaFon are a great team. It's just they're probably a few years premature. If they would have been in WWF a few years later, they probably would have gotten over a little more. But
yep,
because their big feud now would be against the Bulldog and Owen for the belts. Because we don't really have an abundance of tag teams. Because this is kind of when everything got changed up quite a bit.
Yep. So over on Nitro, Gene Okerlund brings out the Four Horsemen. Last week it was minus Arn Anderson. This week it's minus Chris Benoit and Woman. They're not here again. Okerlund asks Ric Flair where Chris Benoit and Woman are, and Ric Flair kind of gives the same answer as before. She was married to the devil for 10 years. She needs a night out with Chris Benoit. He assures that Benoit is working her out in true Horseman fashion as we speak. Woo. Deborah runs her mouth a bit, just talking shit about Woman again. Then she brings up Jeff Jarrett, saying that he's the most professional member of the Four Horsemen, and kind of saying, he should be in Benoit's place. And Steve Cuck McMichael, like, yeah, I agree. I like Jeff.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't see anything going wrong here.
So,
I didn't learn anything from Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah. So Jeff Jarrett comes out. He asks Rick if he wants a part-time horseman like Benoit or a full-time horseman who can do it all night long. Arn interrupts and says, Jeff Jarrett, you are not a horseman. And if you want to be a horseman, you need to quit whining about being some sort of victim. But Jeff cuts him off, Jeff Jarrett, and says he didn't come here to talk to the horse's rear. He came to talk to the head. And Arn Anderson started kicking his fucking ass all the way down the ramp and into the ring.
Yep.
Yeah. And then in true Nitro fashion, they start fighting into the ring, and the ref just runs in and rings the bell to start a match. Like, okay.
He basically said that he was second fiddle to Ollie and Tully.
Yeah.
And that he is the ass end of the horse.
Yep.
Not wrong.
Yep.
To Ole, Tully, or Rick. So Arn started kicking his ass, but they get into the ring and start wrestling. Jarrett puts his feet on the ropes and gets a 3 count on Arn. So Arn's fucking pissed off. Ric Flair's holding Arn back. Deborah's, I mean, all hell's breaking loose with the Horsemen, and fucking Deborah's sitting in between them, smiling like the fucking witch she is. Glad she's gonna get her ass kicked later. She's just
I enjoyed that heel pinup though, man. That was perfect.
She's doing what a woman would do in the situation. Not all women, but a scandalous woman. She's enjoying the fact that everyone's fighting over the drama she's starting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Steve Mongo McMichael's basically standing there pairing Deborah and fucking Jeff up like a fucking moron.
Yep.
Arn's trying to destroy Jeff Jarrett. Fucking Steve Mongo McMichael's checking out Jeff's ass or something. Flair and Jarrett are doing stereo Fargo struts. Arn keeps trying to get to Jarrett, but Flair's holding him back, and it's like there's nothing clear here. Like,
right? Other than we know Arn Anderson and Chris Benoit are on the same page. That Jeff Jarrett ain't in. That's all we know at this point.
That shit right now, fucking Steve Mongo and even Bobby Heenan's like, was it Bobby Heenan? No, Zbyszko sitting there like, shouldn't McMichaels be a little worried about how into Deborah, or how Deborah's so into Jeff Jarrett? Like, the commentators even bring it up.
Right.
Fucking Mongo's sitting there smiling like an idiot in his sunglasses. All right, dude. So
I'm a badass, but Jeff Jarrett, you can come over to my house and fuck my wife.
All hell's breaking loose, and Deborah's just sitting there smiling, like, "Yay, they're fighting over me!" Like,
she's waving to the crowd like a bimbo.
Yeah, Mongo, he got too many shots to the head, and
Deborah was
right there. There's a warning of how much damage sports can do to you.
Well, I played for the '85 Bears.
So back on Raw, we get a recap of last week with Marlena and her getting knocked out, but obviously she's feeling better because she was showing off her tatas and Shotgun Saturday Night.
Right.
Then in the back, we get a word from Bret Hart. Vince tells Bret that Shawn Michaels will be at ringside for his match against Vader tonight. Bret says that he'd like to see Shawn stick his nose in his business just so he can beat Shawn up. And as for Vader, he's just big and stupid. Psycho Sid's music interrupts.
I forgot that it was Vader who told Bret that they were going to fuck him in the whole screw job there.
Was it?
Yeah, he told me. He goes, "They're going to do that to you." He's like, in the ring, he goes, "I'm going to have more control anyway, so don't worry about it." Like, he knew it was happening. He told them.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Leon warned him.
So, Psycho Sid makes his way out to the ring and has the Sid fireworks sign, the fucking music blaring, and Jim Ross asks Sid if he's even the least bit intimidated to meet Shawn Michaels in his hometown of San Antonio. Sid says, of course he's not. The day he was born was when he became the man.
And the man he'll be until he walks out.
Yeah. Sid says he will enter and leave San Antonio as the man. Why? Because he's the ruler of the world. Shawn Michaels interrupts, thankfully, and takes his place next to Vince McMahon at commentary for the main event. Jose Lothario's with him, but Jose doesn't get a headset because his English isn't clear enough.
Who is Jose Lothario anyway?
He's an old school wrestler who was big in the Southwest territory, like the territory in Texas, and then he trained Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels' hero.
It's true. My dad, Jose Lothario, trained Shawn Michaels, for I, Etep Lothario, heir to the Lothario throne.
Yes. So Sid sees Shawn's over-the-top entrance and apologizes for what he's going to do to Shawn Michaels at the Royal Rumble because he won't be held responsible. So, over on Nitro, we're supposed to have a world television title match. Champion Lord Steven Regal defending against DDP, but DDP doesn't come out to his music, so Jim Duggan takes his place. While this match is going on, the NWO make their way to the commentator booth, and we find out that DDP is actually out to dinner with Scott Hall to discuss their future in the NWO.
Yeah.
So Jim Duggan comes out to wrestle, and he basically ends up getting DQ'd because he takes out his stupid fucking tape and wraps it around his fist and hits Steven Regal with it right in front of the referee. Like, not even trying, like, all these people are slick and try to do it behind the ref's back, and Jim Duggan just, oh, and like, the ref's watching him. Like, so.
Listen, cocaine, it's a hell of a drug.
The weird thing is that they used to let him get away with it and let him do it. And then now all of a sudden it's a foreign object.
Now it's like, a problem.
Yeah. Just like every few matches or so, someone gets thrown over the top rope for a DQ. Like, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Let's say so.
So we also get Hugh Morris versus Jim Powers with Teddy Long. But yeah, not a very quick match. It didn't even go 2 minutes before Jim Powers felt the no laughing matter. Fucking Hugh Morris won this match. Good times.
Bullshit.
Teddy Long looked like he was about done with Jim Powers at this point. And over on Raw, we get our main event of the evening, Bret Hart versus Vader. So, basically this ends with, we see Stone Cold watching from the back while this match is going on. We think Vader's going to hit a Vader bomb, but instead he goes up to the top rope for a moonsault or a Vader salt. But Bret ends up reversing it. Steve Austin is watching from the back. Hold on, I lost my place here.
It happens.
Yes. So, Vader and Bret slug it out. Psycho Sid returns to ringside. He drags a cameraman with him to the back. While he's dragging the cameraman to the back, you see Steve Austin come out. He hits a stunner on Bret in the concrete. Like he's kicking Bret's ass, and after everyone's seen Austin on screen for like 30 seconds, Vince is like, "Oh my God, is that Steve Austin?" Like,
that was so dumb. Like they were trying to keep him in the shadows. Like, all right, no one really saw him. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like we saw him when fucking Sid grabbed the cameraman. Like, Stone Cold stunner on Bret. Austin goes back up the aisleway. Vader brings Bret Hart back into the ring and hits a pump splash for the 1-2-3, which I gotta say, I wasn't expecting Vader to win this one, even with, things going on.
Yeah, that was a pretty good
I will
match,
say that
though.
stunner looked off because he didn't, again, we don't have the kick yet. So he just kind of, as we've discussed before, just kind of turns his back on the dude and grabs his head and drops down. So,
we definitely need that kick added. So, once Vader clears out, we go to the back and see Psycho Sid in the back with Etep Lothario, while Jose and Sean are at the commentator's booth. Yeah, and fucking Etep Pete Lothario gets a motherfucking power bomb. Didn't even break the table, but yeah.
No,
Sid
they didn't gimmick that table. He's throwing on a real table.
Yeah. Sid power bombs Pete Lothario on the table.
Looked like he threw him light, too. Watching that throw, dude, that wasn't like a normal throw. That looked like a light throw, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
you see that by chance, Etep?
No, I didn't.
No.
Well, you should have felt it since it was your back hitting the table. It looked like
Listen,
when he went to
I
throw
felt it
him
years.
down.
It was years ago. I was young and needed the money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You do anything for a donut.
He
Raw
needed the money.
ends,
That too.
Raw ends with Psycho Sid powerbombing Pete Lothario on the table. Shawn Michaels and Jose Lothario run to the back, even though Jose supposedly just had a heart attack. Yeah, and they're like over Pete's broken body, and Aldo Montoya and Savio Vega are there, and they're crying out for help. We get a little slow-mo replay, and that's the end of Raw for tonight.
Muchachos, we need help.
Yeah. Muchachos.
It wasn't a bad beginning of a year, man. I thought it was fun. You know, to start the year off with a bang. To say, you know,
that match was entertaining with Vader and Brett.
Yeah.
Some good shit.
Vader was supposed to win the WWF title at SummerSlam, but Shawn Michaels didn't like him, and he didn't like that Vader worked rough, even though Vader had he went into Japan as a force and won the title. Same in WCW. And he was supposed to win the championship, but fucking Shawn Michaels politicked his way out of it, you know?
Wow. Vader never got one? He never got one?
No.
Not a WWF run. No.
Wow.
Not a run with the WWF title.
I always saw Vader as the champ because, I mean, we've seen him in WCW, and then if you get some of the magazines, you'd see him, you know, in Japan and stuff. I mean, come on. He was a believable badass.
Oh, hell yeah.
So.
And he was good with the fans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was a good dude.
So, over on Nitro, hour 2 begins with Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Psychosis. Springboard Hurricane Rana from Rey Mysterio gets the win. About 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Rey and Psychosis, they're always putting on great matches, but I don't know if Psychosis has had one win over Rey yet. Next, we get Kevin Sullivan with Jimmy Hart versus Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo looks great. Young Chavo.
It's just a Kevin Sullivan match, though. Blonde hair, black eyebrows, and a double stomp, and he wins. Probably, they could have put someone better in the ring with Chavo. So, next we get WCW US Heavyweight Champion Eddie Guerrero versus Alex Wright in a pretty good match. Not a bad match at all. Of course, Eddie retains with the frog splash. Then Six comes out and
steals the title, doesn't he?
Yeah, Six comes out and he says the title is all his, and Eddie chases Six to the back, and so it looks like at NWO sold out. We're gonna get Eddie Guerrero versus Six for the US title. Next
he
up,
lies, he cheats, and he steals.
Yeah. Well, he must have learned from Six, because Six fucking with him right now. Next up, we get Harlem.
Blame the white man for everything.
Yeah.
Yep. It's true. It's true. It's damn true.
So we get Harlem Heat with Sister Sherry versus the AFC with Colonel Robert Parker. The Amazing French Canadians do the job here to Harlem Heat. About 4 minutes. And didn't Sherry end up attacking Colonel Parker here?
Yeah,
that always looks good.
He smacked her with his riding crop.
Yeah.
And it looked like she's gonna go back to making out with him, and then she flips the fuck out and just beats the shit out of him. And she was looking fine as hell.
Yeah, she's always looking great.
She was wearing her older ring attire, I think.
Yeah. Yep. So next we get Lex Luger versus Ming. We get a quick clip of Sting whispering things to Lex Luger and laying down his baseball bat at Starrcade. And then we see Luger tearing down the Giant with the baseball bat. Good times. So Luger versus Ming. Another one of those WCW finishes where Luger puts Ming in the torture rack, but the ref is distracted. Fucking Barbarian runs in, goes to attack Luger, so Luger basically throws Ming out of the ring, puts Barbarian in the torture rack, someone who's not in the match. The ref turns around and sees it and calls for the bell like Luger won.
Well, come on. One Samoan, two Samoan. They all look alike. Does it really matter?
Yeah,
but come on.
That good old-fashioned 90s racism, yeah.
Yeah. Luger beats them both in one night. Get the F out of here, man. No. I mean, look, I liked Luger, but even I was like, nah, man. Nah.
This is bullshit.
Yes, this is complete bullshit.
Yeah. It was okay. It wasn't bad, It was
it wasn't.
Weird how it's like the ref never seems to care if someone runs in the ring instead of a DQ, as long as the fucking legal man gets the advantage on them. They always call for the bell. Like, okay, they won the match. Like, okay, but what about the guy that's actually in the fucking match? What about him?
He got kicked in the head by Ming, when he was putting him in the rack. So he was loopy. That's the excuse, my friend. Because wrestling. Gotta love it. Even in its lulls, you gotta love it.
That and them being able to do whatever they want outside the ring. But then once they get in the ring, if they do it, then they get it. Like, what?
When does that someone with a steel chair outside of the ring, all good,
Yeah, when does that switch to where it doesn't matter? It's a DQ.
Right. So it's main event time for Nitro. The NWO make their way out. Elizabeth is with Bischoff, looking all sad. Hollywood comes out, kind of leads the way to the ring. Bischoff tries to convince everyone again that Hogan beat Piper at Starrcade, and also that Hogan last week had to beat the Giant up all by himself because the Giant's turning on him, So Giant ends up running out. He tears through the NWO, including Nick Patrick, who he threw over the top rope into a couple of the NWO guys on the floor, which is cool. It's like Nick Patrick took a bump, like a fucking pretty significant one. So there's just Bischoff and Hogan left in the ring. Hogan throws a punch at the Giant, but Giant catches his punch and powers him down to the mat. The crowd is fucking losing their minds over this. Bischoff pounds on Giant's back to get him to stop, but it just looks stupid. Giant's about to choke slam Hogan as he stares down Bischoff. No. Bischoff attacks Giant from behind. He quits focusing on Hogan. He grabs Bischoff by the throat and is about to choke slam Bischoff, but Hogan fucking hits Giant with the chair in the back. Fucking the rest of the NWO jump on. The numbers game takes over Giant again. They kick his ass till he's knocked out cold. And then they hold him up and let Bischoff kick him in the face. So then the NWO goes over to the announce table, chases everyone off from there. And while they're talking shit at the announce table, Sting makes his way out. And he heads to the ring with the baseball bat. He fucking basically flips Giant over, picks his head up by his hair and whispers something into Giant's ear, and then leaves the bat there for the Giant and fucking
I know what it was. Peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly time.
With a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter. Oh, sorry.
So he leaves the bat. So fucking, they're like, fuck it. If he's going to leave the bat, they're like, Vincent, go in there and kick his ass with the bat. So Vincent goes in, grabs the bat, prods Giant a few times, raises his hand, whatever, and Giant's out cold. So, and before Sting left the ring and left the bat, he pointed his bat at the NWO.
I thought Vincent already had a bat.
Claiming he's black and white, they're like, yeah, he's with the NWO. Look, he's pointing at us. Yay! They're waving at him.
Yes, dude. This fucking Vincent's fucking with the Giant, kicking him, everything, making sure he's knocked out. And when he gets all confident, Giant fucking stands up, fucking grabs Vincent by the throat. I mean, one of the best choke slams I've seen from the Giant. He choke slammed the shit out of Vincent. Yeah. The fucking crowd's going nuts. The NWO hits the ring, but there's nothing they can do because you've got a 7-foot man in there with a baseball bat fucking just swinging at him. Swinging. So they're sorry. But while this is going on, a massive "We Want Sting" chant starts up.
Huge.
Fun way to end Nitro, but another good ending to Nitro, and it's fun to see the Giant, go his own way.
Peter looks unamused.
Yeah. But hey, we're officially in 1997 now, and then it ends. Yeah. The night ends with like the giant in the ring, but then we get kind of an overlay of Sting's face, and we begin the 1 year build up to Starrcade.
Yeah.
Yes. Good times. Hail, Frankie Knows. Great to see you.
Hail, brother.
And again, I still see why WCW won. And hail, Frankie Knows.
Oh, they're definitely, you have the anything can happen type feel right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's live. You never know what might happen or who might come out, you know. Rob
Jose Lothario could have come out.
Yeah. Hell, Rick Rude.
It was me, Finny. It was me all along.
Rick Rude will be on both shows when he debuts on Nitro because Raw's pre-recorded, you know.
I watched that live. That was awesome when that happened. It was like, holy shit. In one room, I'd have Raw on, and in the other, I'd have WCW on.
Yeah.
It was on both?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you'll be on both because they're pre-recorded. So, and that's the problem, you know. Raw right now, they just kind of have to roll with the punches. And okay, this is what the next month worth of programming will be. But Nitro has the advantage of being able to switch things up, and you know, even as far as being on the air, they can switch up the end of their show or whatever they need to do. But Raw, they're stuck with whatever they recorded weeks ago, you know, and that's just it.
Yeah.
So,
that's how they always had the inside of who's gonna win, who's gonna lose.
Yeah.
When did they switch? When did they start going live?
So, I believe in March they switched to Raw's War in the War Zone, and they're going to switch to a bi-weekly format. Where right now they're only live the Raw after a pay-per-view, but they're going to switch to They're going to switch to every 2 weeks. They'll do a live show and then pre-record the next show. Then do a live show, then pre-record the next show. I believe that's coming at the end of March. I know the Raw's War and Warzone format is coming then. It's like right before WrestleMania, I believe. And it's going to be cool because like 3-4 months from now, Raw's going to look completely different than how it looks right now. We're in the fucking home stretch of this, like, you know, mid-90s era Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
So, yeah, it should be a good time. You know, by the end of 1997, Kane would have debuted. Bret Hart and the Montreal Blowjob happens. Yeah, things are going to, you know... Yeah, a year from now, they're going to be teasing Mike Tyson at WrestleMania 14. I mean,
the Montreal Patterson. Yes. Oh goodness, that was such a bad thing.
And
Tyson. Yes, dude. It's just funny to think, like, you know, we suffered through some shit already. You know, going through this to get to where we are. We know the end game, but
at least mustache.
Yes.
Fucking. Yeah.
Pre-NWO Hogan, yes.
Yeah, just everything on Monday Night Raw in 1995, King Mabel versus Undertaker.
And the best part with WWF right now, we're in season 5 of Monday Night Raw, where WCW, it's only season 3. So Vince still had 2 years head start on these guys. So at the end, it's kind of no wonder why he won. Because he'd already worked out a lot of the bugs before WCW even, you know, got their footing started.
WCW, they hung themselves with the bad storylines, and they didn't know where they were going since everyone became NWO, and Hogan and, you know,
guaranteed contracts.
Yeah, I mean, fucking the Wolfpack there, they did some fucked up shit, and yeah, so, what do you want? There's nowhere to go when those idiots kept fucking booking themselves to win everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, right now it's cool and a lot of stuff, you know, again, the Shivani at first when you hear, oh, it's the New World Order. And then by now we're like, oh, fucking come up with something new, Shivani, or shut up.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, August 9th was a rich day in wrestling history. I just want to run through this real quick. Ric Flair won the NWA heavyweight title on this day in 1986. Let me see who he won that from. Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes had won it from Ric Flair on July 26th, and it looks like 14 days later, 2 weeks later, Ric Flair would win the NWA title back and go on to hold it for 412 days till September 25th of 1987 when he dropped it to Ronnie Garvin. Yes. So Ric
Funny
Flair,
how that goes, though, right? 2 weeks. So you're gonna have my belt for 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna get it back and hold it for 400 and some odd.
Yeah.
What was so important about that 2 week time frame? You didn't want that belt.
Pay-per-view buy rate. Yeah, so 1986, Flair won one of his many world title reigns. I think he's a 16-time champion. On this day in 1997, Etep's favorite, Sabu, won the ECW World Heavyweight title. On the same day in 1997, Hollywood Hogan will win the WCW World Heavyweight title. 1999, Kane and X-Pac will win the Tag Team Championships, as well as Chris Benoit winning the United States Heavyweight title in WCW. In 2002, the WWE Hardcore title would switch between Stevie Richards, Tommy Dreamer, and Sean Stasiak.
And Jose Lothario.
Yeah, and Jose Lothario. The Intercontinental title would be won by Cody Rhodes on this day in 2011. Cody.
He dedicated to the ghost of Pat Patterson in the showers.
Yes. So, on this day, pay-per-views, Weird Bash at the Beach is usually in August, isn't it? It looks like Road Wild will be on this day in 1997. Let me make sure this is still on August 9th. Yeah, it is. Huh.
Wow.
Yes. So Road Wild will be on this day next year. What else do we have? Cool, UFC 87. Not many pay-per-views on this day, but it's early in the month. Also, we have all kinds of different. We had a Sunday Night Heat, WCW Saturday Night, a couple Nitros and Raw's Wars. 6.4 rating in 1999 for Raw's War, 3.1 for Monday Nitro. We'd also get a WWF SmackDown in 2001 with a 4.20 rating, which I think is cool.
I can't wait till we get SmackDown and then we turn around and we get Thunder.
Yeah, we'll get Thunder first, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. We'll cover those because once the shows are 2 and 3 hours and stuff, we'll definitely be doing once a week, but we'll also go over the any B shows like that. So the card in 1999 on this day for Raw's War, we got Gangrel defeating Christian, Val Venus defeating Jeff Jarrett, tag titles match Kane and X-Pac versus the Acolytes. We'd also get Test and Ken Shamrock defeating Steve Blackman and Joey Abs. We'd get a hardcore match between Road Dogg and Big Boss Man. The Rock will defeat Big Show by DQ. And we'll get a number 1 contender match to the WWF title with special referee Shawn Michaels. The winner will get their shot at SummerSlam. China versus Triple H versus The Undertaker. Yes, that's when China was the number 1 contender, and Triple H was like, I want me title shot. And he'd go into SummerSlam 99. Yeah, and he'd wrestle Steve Austin and Mick Foley. Everyone was expecting Hunter to win that one, but Mick Foley defeated Austin for the title. Yeah, and then the next night on Raw, Triple H would win it for the first time.
Which I always thought that was funky. It was like, because you see the thing where it was a documentary where Austin's like, well, I'll drop it to Mick, and then you can get it for Mick. It's like, why did Austin not want to drop it to Hunter Hearst Helmsley? I'm not complaining, but it's like, it was just kind of one of those like, nah, I won't, fuck you. I'm not dropping it to you. I'm going to drop it to Mick. Then y'all can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it could have been some politic bullshit too.
Yeah.
Don't forget how Triple H was even back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, from what I hear, it was Austin not really wanting to drop it to Hunter because he's like, look, I'm the hottest thing the company has right now, and Triple H, he was untested as a main eventer like that. It's just he was,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, probably makes more sense for Mick Foley to drop it. But at that point, I say, why even have Austin in the triple threat match? Have Mick Foley beat Austin for the title at some point before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I mean, Foley was over at the time. It'd be weird to see Austin second on the card, but whatever if you don't want to do the job. So, and then he was only a few months out from the neck surgery too, so I'm sure he had it kind of scheduled and knew he was going to be gone in November by that point anyway. Start cooling him off a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up, Brutal Morningwood? It's all good. He was outside in his prayer group, so that's why Brutal Morningwood is late. Thank you, sir.
We'll allow it.
Yes. Yep, super fan. I like the Winged Eagle. Yes. Kevin Spacey, he will be in the Pat Patterson movie.
Well, it's funny when you look at title belts, man, and it's like when Hogan had the first belt and whatnot with Mr. T and whatnot, it was different. But when we get to that Winged Eagle title that just goes from Hogan and to Hitman and Savage and even the Warrior had it and Kevin Nash had it. It's just a beautiful belt, but I've got them side by side with the big gold, and it's amazing how small it really is in comparison to that damn big gold belt.
Yeah.
The original big gold belt, not the WWE version of the big gold belt, which they're the same, but still.
Which is one reason it was weird when Rey Mysterio won it, because it was like
that belt.
It was so big because it was supposed to go on big people. Like, yeah.
You put it on Ray and you just expect him to like topple over. No offense to Ray, because I do love him. He's a great wrestler and always has been. But yeah, that was kind of, I had that feeling like Etep's like, man, that title kind of, I don't know about this.
Well, that's why you put him on a cycle.
Yeah.
But the actor was worse when he had it. What was it? I can't think of it.
David Arquette.
Arquette. Yeah, Arquette. When Arquette had it, it was just like, really? Come on, man.
Oh yeah. Well, I talked about that over on Oz's channel not long ago with the Ready to Rumble deal. No, it was. It shouldn't have happened. But can you blame Arquette for doing it? No. Any of us would have done it.
Oh hell yeah.
It was just a bad decision to do it. You should have. If you're gonna do something like that, do it like right after the movie. They did it like it was like a month afterwards. Do it right after the movie, and then like just as soon if you're gonna do it, and then just as soon flip it back. But don't put the guy over. Don't let the guy go over. Like make the worker like knock the other. The babyface knock the heel out, and then Arquette gets the pin or something. But Arquette gets like just demolished like the next night on Nitro for the title. That's and you end it right there.
Who got the belt first? Was it Arquette or was it Bischoff?
Russo had gotten it.
No, Arquette got it before Russo, didn't he?
I think
give it to
Russo
Bischoff
got
at
it
one point too.
No, it was
No,
Russo.
Bischoff. Yeah.
Of
course it was Vinnie Russo.
I think. I mean,
he just always was carrying it around for Hogan. I thought
they gave him at one point. All right.
Could be wrong. I mean, we'll find
Russo.
out. Vinny. I mean, it's been there's so much knowledge that you lose over time. Like I was saying, I didn't expect it to come up this quick with the giant thing happening. Like I thought that was later on. I didn't think it was. We were already there.
So Russo won it September 25th, 2000. And
All right.
yeah, Arquette won it in April 26th of the same year. So Arquette has him by a few months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was so bad when he won the fucking W. I'm like, are you really?
Oh, dude. It was painful.
And I wasn't smart to like the news back then. I just watched the shows and I'm like, what are they doing lately?
Who would he beat to get it?
It was I think it was DDP's, and he won in that like triple cage match that they had in the Ready to Rumble movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what it was.
How retarded.
Because it was at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was. Oh, David Arquette wins the World Championship on April 26, 2000 edition. They said it was WCW Thunder, but I could have sworn it was on Nitro.
Wait, I looked at the screen. Where did Fred Savage?
I was just. Hold on, real quick. I just want to. Now you got me on Arquette, but then we'll go back to my childhood. Fred fucking Savage diddling people.
Oh shit!
God damn it, Fred.
DDP's like, let me hold this for you, man. Yeah, I don't know where he fucking won the title from, but the point is, it shouldn't have happened.
No,
it shouldn't have happened. So, yeah, Fred Savage is in the news.
Wow, I covered part of the story a while ago, but I don't remember if they got into any details.
I was going to say, I think you mentioned it to me, because I was like, Fred Savage is the one fucking innocent person in Hollywood, and you're like, oh, no, he has accusers.
He's got accusers, yeah.
They said,
I remember Vinnie bringing it up.
Yeah, when he was on one of the years back in the day, they covered up something and paid someone off. And he flipped out on another TV show he was on, and then he was directing, I think, episodes of the new Wonder Years series. And this latest one, they clipped the second season because of something he did, but I don't know what he did.
It's new details surrounding the abrupt firing of Fred Savage from the reboot of the Wonder Years are coming to light. The Hollywood Reporter has published account of 6 female crew members alleging sexual harassment by Savage, detailing the events leading up to their sending a complaint to Disney and speaking to a human resource executive about concerns regarding the actor's behavior towards women on set. As per the report, the women are claiming they saw a far darker, angrier alter ego and that he could flip personas in an instant. One woman said his eyes would go dead. I could see that.
Could that just be from her Karen talk, though? Because don't we all just die a little inside when they talk like that?
I want to hear exactly what he did to them.
He put his mouth on mine very forcefully.
He did what to you, Tony?
But I thought you paid for that, Tony.
One female crew member stated there was a strangeness between the married 46-year-old actor and a much younger female crew member, and that many of them had become concerned when the young female crew member moved into Savage's home in Atlanta.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Did he pull an Amber Heard?
And her body was never found.
Uh-oh.
But there was fecal matter everywhere.
His brother, the one from Boy Meets World, he was into something. Something happened. There was one of those weird sex offender old guys who he was very affectionate with. This guy used to throw parties with just boys. And, with Ben Savage, I think his name is. Him and like a couple other child stars were like good friends with this old creep. think that says a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, I mean, look at this. You can only hide it so long.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he look like Kristen Stewart with a slightly stronger jawline?
I could see him doing some fucking crazy shit. Look in those eyes, like.
Yeah. He looks crazy.
Yeah.
I'm Fred Savage Fred.
Manless motivation. I believe Kevin Spacey was at those parties.
Well, Hollywood is obviously feeding our children to the lions for our entertainment. Like, maybe we should stop having kids, and I'm sorry, but maybe we should, like, or at least think of something. Stop working them so hard, or fucking.
Well, a lot of the parents of these child stars, they are pieces of shit. Look at the ones that used to just give their kids over to Michael Jackson, you know, and then they go on trips and get paid by him and all that crap, you know.
Anything for fame.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Well, fame and money.
Yep.
We have a society that's what they've done. Like, we threw culture away, and they just obsess over celebrity. It's fucking.
And then you end up with the ending of they them.
Yeah.
Oh.
From what I heard, I'm
sorry, but I'm not wrong. I mean, think about it. Like everything you just said, Vinny. That's why we end up with the ending of they them. You know, it's like whoa.
It's all very disturbing.
Yes, it's all disturbing, and yeah, we just kind of put up with it, you know, as long as the Iron Man suit looks cool. It's like feed them kids to them lions. It's fucked up, and again, it is the parents a lot of the time. Like the kid doesn't know what they're doing. It's the parents pushing them into this lifestyle and trying to get a shortcut through life, basically.
Yep.
Get that 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah, they want to use those kids to make millions. Why do you think they always have problems too? Like Britney Spears, the Bieber situation, all these younger people. They end up if the parents are way too greedy and keep pushing shit, they want to have some kind of divorce from the parents, and you know, get their own money and change shit.
You know,
they prostitute their
emancipated. Kids. I want to be emancipated. But you're 27. I don't care. I want to be emancipated.
Let's go ahead and go around the horn here. Everyone can plug what they got going on, and yeah, what's going on with you, Etep?
Well, bad. No, I
had a Jew in my throat. That doesn't sound right. Damn it.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah, let's see. I'll probably have a video coming out tomorrow. I am give a big shout out to my editor, Good Stuff Comic Skater, for making the videos look pretty. And I am working on a Communist United News Transmission Service video with my Russian alter ego Yuri Grabovich, my cousin. We are going to, he's got another video coming up later this week. We're going to be talking about Mar-a-Lago. So, yeah, I've got that. I've been working on a little bit. And we got going rogue tomorrow night, the member stream at 8:05. Big show at 9:05. Tony and I will be joined by the Script Doctor, PhD, and possibly another guest. And then we have Saturday night's main event later this week. And yeah, I'll be making an appearance on This Week in BS over on Justin Proper's channel Thursday. And I am, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Sweet.
That's it.
Thank you for coming on, man. And everyone go check out Yelling at Parked Cars over on Comics Division's channel last night. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm stoned. I was on there last night. It was a fucking blast. Yeah, really, it was really good time. And check out the interview with Jennifer Thomas. I just put out too. Jesus Christ, I'm fucking high. Yeah, just released an interview with Jennifer Thomas. That was fun. I was just on Supreme Heretics channel before this with Jasmine St. Clair, which that was fun. And let's see. Like I said, there's more stuff coming up. I'll probably think of something. You can join via channel member. We're 3 channel members away from unlocking. What is it? They say like 11 more emojis. And yeah, we're gonna add the probably starting next month. We'll add the producer tier in, but I want to write all the stips up on it first for the perk. So I've kind of been working on that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you for coming on tonight, bro.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, always fun. I love watching this over again and discussing it with you fine gentlemen. Even when you haven't seen it, at least you remember it, right, Etep?
Mm-hmm.
So, man, again, 97. We're just a few years away from it all going to shit. We better enjoy it while we got it. You know, that's all I'm going to say there. Good, another good way to start off. You know, both Raw and Nitro. I feel for 97. You know, the first matches we got. Yeah, man, sure, why not? We've had worse. But yeah, there you go. I'll be here, I'm sure, next week, if not on the panel in the chat as always, because I just love doing wrestling with these gentlemen. You'll find me everywhere with these gentlemen. Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, myself on my channel for Friday Fun with Friends. The men's room, they go about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday. You know, I'll be on with Tony. I'm Sean Lyers. Might stop in the men's room if I get some time in between as well, but also good people there. But yeah, man, it's just back and forth with all these fine creators here and having fun and loving wrestling. Check it out.
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you for joining us tonight, man.
Thanks for having me.
Draven, what's going on, man?
Not much.
Sweet.
That was an enthusiastic response.
He's feasting.
Yes.
I was gonna say it's nighttime. You're supposed to be up and about.
I am.
Let the vampires suck.
Yeah, I do gaming over on Twitch, and then I do the watch parties over here on YouTube. We're gonna probably do All Out. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the day of or maybe that Tuesday. But yeah.
Sweet, man.
Mm-hmm.
Looking
Tell him how
forward to it.
you were harassing Chris Fisk's his apartment.
No, was I?
Yeah, flying around his apartment and shit.
Yeah, 18-inch wingspan, fucking brown bat flying in his apartment.
Ooh.
It's not Draven's fault. Chris said stop by anytime.
Oh,
yeah, that is true. He did invite me in.
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
see, once he's invited
More
in,
way
you can't
than
stop
one.
him.
Knew it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right.
Get your vaccine for monkeypox.
Monkeypox, oh darling, monkeypox.
That's what happens when a pangolin and a bat, you know. You get it on.
Thank you for coming on tonight,
Yeah,
brother.
thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
You guys are great. yeah. Stop by my channel again. We had a good time on Sunday. Yeah, it was a blast. VinnieArt. So get over there. I do tour reviews. We have some crazy streams. I think I'm going to be taking care of those toy streams on Thursdays as well, since Tommy's internet is still on the shits. So we'll have some more cool stuff we'll put up there, and we'll talk about what else. I am working on some amazing books. Again, City of Venus, Shadow of the Kraken, Through the Woods. These books ship immediately. You want some great stuff. I'm building better entertainment along with all the other awesome creators in our circle. It's a good thing. So if you want some excellent books that you don't have to wait for, other than waiting by the post or by your mailbox, my shit ships immediately. And I am working currently on issue 2 of City of Venus. which yeah, I can't wait for you guys to check this one out. I'm going to be building something really cool here, and it's going to be a bigger book. It's going to be about 52 pages. We'll see where it all takes us, but shit, I might even make it more. Who knows? We'll see. I'm not going to rush myself on this. That's why I will set up a campaign for it when it's about done. So yeah, because I don't want to just sit on people's money like that. I think it's a very scummy thing to do. So
Yes.
but I might run another campaign in between that because a lot of people do like my drawings and my sketches and stuff like that. So I might do like a bigger art book. One of my first campaigns, I had an awesome little ash can that had sold out that everyone really seemed to enjoy. So I might do like a bigger version of that and put some other like full colored images in there that people haven't seen before. And I don't know. Well, we'll see. Well, I'm playing it by ear right now, but if you guys want more content, yeah, we could work on something really cool. So yeah, either way, thank you everybody. It's always a blast talking about wrestling and hanging out with all these fine folks on panel and in the chat. So everyone have a great night, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Oh, yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yes, so check us out tomorrow for Going Rogue over on Etep's channel. Check us out Friday for Liars, Life in a Rocket Ship over here. Yeah, and Vince spot St. James, little St. James Island, so he's enjoying his retirement.
Orgy Island.
I can't wait to bring all the gas Perlman can find here.
We pray to the altar of the ghost of Pat Patterson. At night we have some gay sex for referees.
I'm gonna bang 17 ring boys.
Yeah, yeah. Etep didn't hear that story. I gotta tell him too.
Yes,
the
yes.
Hitman one.
Yes.
Oh no.
Ladies and did we tell that on the air? No, it was after we went off, right?
It was after. I mean, if you want me to stay on air, I can do it on air. I don't care.
Let's tell it on the air before we go, just for our beautiful audience, so they.
All right. Yeah. So this is all right. So this story is from Bret Hart. His best story, Vince McMahon story, and this came right before they were going to do drug tests. So Vince McMahon, before one of their the big events they were doing, he calls in all the top wrestlers, and he goes, "Listen, you got to get clean. You got 2 weeks because in 2 weeks we're going to start doing steroid tests." And he goes, "Yeah, you're going to be 3 strikes and you're out. So I don't care where you are on the roster. By the 3rd strike, you're done. I'm firing you." And Bret's like that. So everyone who's really juicing big time, like they're all shitting a brick. Anvil was pretty upset. There were stories with that too. I'll tell another time. But so anyway, after the big matches they had, like Bret finished a little bit early. His match was earlier, and Owen had just come back into the fold. They just rehired him, and it looked like they were ready to give him a better push. So him and Bret, like they go to the hotel, and Bret was given a giant bag of weed. He goes, "This thing was huge." He goes, "You could have rested your head on it like a pillow." He goes, "We got to go on planes and stuff, and in 2 weeks we're going to be doing drug tests." So he goes, "Whatever, we got to smoke whatever's here and give away the rest or whatever." So he convinces Owen, because Owen doesn't really do much shit. He goes, neither does he for that matter, but they go, "Fuck it, let's have some fun." So they roll up a couple of big fatties, and they get blazed, and they were going to meet the other wrestlers at a strip club. So they get there, and he goes, "Me and Owen we're very happy when we walk in," and he goes, "There's a couple of wrestlers in there, not a shit ton of them." He goes, "We got Hogan, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Jim Anvil, Jim Knight and NIART. He just got there, and we had Animal and Hawk, and there was a couple other people. I think Davey Boy was coming into around that time." So he says, so they get in there, and they start drinking and shit, and all of a sudden McMahon comes in the door, and Brett goes, he is the most drunk I've ever seen him in my entire life. He's like stumbling everywhere. His head's bobbling everywhere. And with him is Pat Patterson and Sergeant Slaughter. They're like his bodyguards, sort of. So he goes, they're in there and they see how hammered McMahon is. And Hawk goes to Animal and goes, I'm going to do the finisher on him. And then like everyone kind of like they perk their ears up. Anvil's like, what? Like he's leaning over going, what the fuck did he just say? And Hogan starts egging him on. Like, you know, do it. So before you know it, Animal scoops up McMahon, puts him on his shoulders, and Hawk is on one of the stripper poles on the table, and like, no way, he's not gonna do it. And Animal's like, there's no fucking way, there's no way. And he jumps off, and then Brett goes, Hawk gives him the biggest powder puff clothesline, the weakest little chicken wing you'd ever see. And Hogan and Beefcake catch him, and like they gently put him down like a feather. And Brett had just gotten 2 shots in his hands, and he's about to put him down. Like he's walking away from the bar, and Anvil walks by and goes, bunch of pussies. He goes, the Hart Foundation would have done it. And Brett goes, because he goes, I was high, and I didn't really realize what I said. He goes, yeah, we definitely do that. He goes, oh, shit, I know Anvil. So by the time he puts the drinks down on the counter, he turns around. Anvil had scooped up McMahon, put him on his shoulders. And Hogan looks over at him, and he goes, well, like, you going to do it? So he goes, fuck it. He takes his shot. He runs top speed, jumps off the stripper table, and he goes, I clothesline McMahon, the hardest I've ever hit anyone in my life. He goes, he knocks him on his ass. They hit the floor. He goes, it's a dangerous move. He goes, that's a long way down. So he goes, he hits, it's cement with a little bit of carpet. So they're both on the floor, and Hitman goes, I fucked myself up on that. So Vince, his head is in Brett's armpit. He bobbles his head up and goes, you know, after that, you got to buy me a drink. And then Brett goes, what do you have? He goes, I'm having Dewar tonight. So they all start drinking, they're laughing. He goes, we're actually having a good time. And Owen goes, holy shit, things have changed since the last time I've been here. He goes, Owen, this doesn't happen every night like this. He goes, I don't know what the hell's going on. And while they're there, like Davey Boy Smith, he comes in and he's power slamming McMahon on the floor. There's a couple other guys kind of like they're dropping moves on him. No one knows what the fuck's going on. And then someone goes, I'm sorry. Pat Patterson, after a few minutes, he goes, he can't take it anymore because he goes, he's gay and he doesn't want to be there. So he leaves. And then someone goes, Flair's having a party in his room in the hotel. So all of them decide, all right, let's go to Flair's. So they open up the doors, and Sergeant Slaughter had gotten fucking wasted too. He picks up the back of a police car that's there that escorted, I think, McMahon's limo, and he shoves the car into a ditch, and the cop was still in it, and they're laughing. There's another cop car that comes over, and they go, you want an escort? So they go, yeah, fuck it. So 40 wrestlers and strippers load up in a bunch of cars in the limo, and they're getting a police escort to the hotel. They get there, and they're all trying to call Ric Flair's room, and no one's answering. And like, what the fuck's going on? McMahon's the last one to walk in, just like that. He goes right up to the desk. I'm Vince McMahon. Give me Ric Flair's key. And they go, oh, right away, Mr. McMahon. And he's going, wait about privacy. And Brett's like, what the fuck? He could have asked for Joe Schmo's fucking key card, and they would have given it to him. So they get over there, and they're knocking on the door. No one's answering. So they put in the key card. It was dead bolted shut. The little key latch was on and everything. And they could see through the crack that, you know, as they open up the door, Earl Hebner is sleeping on Ric Flair's king-size bed. They go, what the fuck is going on? He opens up the door. They all pile in. And they go, where the hell's Ric Flair? It was 3 a.m. and he's still out drinking somewhere else. They're like, what the fuck is going on? They open up the fridge. There's no food. There's no nothing. There's one bottle of vodka. And they go, this one bottle of vodka is not enough for anybody in here. So Brett goes, "Oh fuck, Owen, go to my room. Go get that bag of weed." So he darts down. He gets the bag. They bring it in. And they're like, "Holy fuck, Brett, what the hell are you doing? Are you selling?" He's like, "No." He named the person who gave it to them. And he goes, "Listen," he goes, "Guys, smoke as much as you want. Grab whatever you want." And they start rolling huge fucking blunts. This one guy, he rolled one that was like 9 inches long and as thick as his fucking wrist. They were getting high as shit. So Kurt Hennig shows up too. He's there. He's one of the wrestlers, and he wants to wrestle. So it goes before he knows it. He turns around. McMahon had stripped down to his little white boxers. He's wearing black socks and his shoes and his tie. Nothing else. And he just wants to wrestle. He says Kurt Hennig grabs him. He has him on the floor, has him in a headlock, and he's nudging his head into the furniture. Like he's hitting it kind of playfully, but he's hurting him. And they're all laughing. He goes, before you know it, they're all fucking doing moves on McMahon. Davey Boy Smith picked him up again. He's fucking power slamming him onto the floor. You got strippers all over the place. And then Hennig gets up and goes, "Fuck Flair," because he's not here. So he whips out his dick and he starts pissing on the king size bed. So he goes, every time a wrestler had to pee, they didn't use the bathroom. They just got up and pissed on the king size bed. He goes, at one point he had 4 or 5 wrestlers just pissing all over, just soaking this mattress. He goes, it was the craziest night they ever had. Owen said it again. He goes, "Boy, I really don't know what the hell happened, but everything really changed here." So he goes, it was one of the craziest nights, but they said in the end, yeah, McMahon, he paid for the room and for the bed and all that shit. But yeah, he goes, that was the craziest McMahon story that he had, and he goes, it was one of the best nights all these guys fucking had together.
Yeah.
Poor McMahon. He always had the itch to wrestle, and his dad wouldn't let him. And then he was obviously getting too old by the time he took over things. So he'd get some in there later as Mr. McMahon. But damn, that guy got drunk. He got high and stripped down to his boxers and said, "I want to wrestle."
Yeah.
Because within like 30 seconds of them saying it.
I own all your asses anyway, so I want to wrestle.
Right?
Yeah.
So, that's what man, I want to wrestle.
Yeah, so
that was great.
that's one of the best nights I could think of, besides Tuesday nights here with all of you. So
That's right.
thank you for joining us tonight. They are not pop culture, they are agenda. We are pop culture. Hail to everyone in the chat. Love you guys. Hail to everyone on the panel. And we'll hold on, let me look at a good video we can play. A good video we can play. Yes. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and, well, with all due respect, he's also suffering from anal bleeding.